So the Apple event was on Tuesday, wasn't it? So shall we talk about it a little bit? Yeah. Ooh, welcome back guys, it's the Raw Geek here. Yes, this week's Raw news is going to be basically about the Apple event which occurred on Tuesday. So yes, basically this is one long episode of the shit gadget of the week. If you've watched my Raw news before, you may know that sometimes I do a shit gadget of the week. And, well, the iPhone X is going to be featured for the shit gadget of the week. I'm sorry, I know some people will be like, oh my god, you can't say that. And of course it is a great phone for various reasons, but just let's, take a little bit of a humour approach to roasting it for a little bit, and then we'll talk about why it's good later on. So yeah, I will also briefly mention about the Apple Watch, the new Apple Watch and the iPhone 8, but let's just get into the iPhone X, I mean 10 now.
For more than a decade, our intention has been to create an iPhone that is all display.
Well, you blew it, because it isn't, is it? If you look at the pictures of it, it's got this big black board around it, so you failed.
A physical object that disappears into the experience.
A physical object that disappears into the experience. What does that even mean? You're talking a load of nonsense.
This is iPhone X. Developing the form and display together defines a whole new integration, making the boundary between the device and the screen hard to discern.
Not really, it's a big black border. I mean, it's quite obviously not the screen. It's quite obviously very discernible indeed.
The custom OLED panel was engineered to fold and seamlessly combine with the external surfaces. Mechanical buttons give way to touch and gestures. There's no home button. A single swipe takes you to the home screen.
Where's my home button gone?
A more responsive touch system means the gestures in iOS 11 are more fluid. The polished stainless steel band reinforces the water-resistant all-glass design. This new glass formulation, the most durable ever in a smartphone, enables for the first time wireless charging.
Okay, cool, yeah, all the things that are out now or coming out will be able to be charged on one wireless charging pad. I suppose that's pretty cool, although it doesn't look very good, so we'd need some sort of better design, some third-party ones, because it looks a bit naff.
Our new True Depth camera system, contained within this tiny space, uses extraordinary depth sensing technology to let you unlock your phone with a glance.
Or to basically let anyone else unlock your phone if you're asleep, for example, or they wear a mask that looks like you. So, if you've got partners out there who are a bit suspicious, you go to sleep and your phone's on your bedside cabinet, they're going to be going, scanning it, getting in there, getting all the juicy stuff that's on your phone. So, I'm not sure about that really.
We call this Face ID. It maps the unique geometry of your face with over 30,000 invisible dots. This data is analysed by the neural engine on the A11 Bionic chip, the first of its kind.
The CPU is a neural net processor, a learning computer.
Your iPhone now recognises you, even in the dark, and will adapt to your physical changes. This makes your face your secure password. So with just a look, you can authenticate your phone or use Apple Pay. The True Depth camera also enables new experiences, like bringing emojis to life.
So why should I pay £1,000 or $1,000 for a phone? Well, because you can make emojis move with your face.
By mapping more than 50 facial muscles in real time, so you can be happy or sad.
It's a great unique selling point there, because that's always what I've wanted to do really. Have a poo emoji doing what my face does.
Or cross. Both the front and rear-facing cameras now have portrait mode, And for the first time, you can actually define the light in a scene. Based on fundamental photographic principles, portrait lighting produces the effect of real studio lighting. On the back, the dual camera system is completely redesigned.
It's completely redesigned, guys. It is mind-blowing the way they redesigned this. So because it used to be that way, and now it's that way.
It's made even smarter by the A11 Bionic chip. With machine learning, the camera detects elements in the scene to optimize the image before the photo is even taken. The camera we use every day now delivers so much more.
I suppose that's pretty cool. Wouldn't mind putting dinosaurs randomly on the screen when filming something. Things always are lacking dinosaurs, aren't they? Like if you look at movie reviews, it's always like, you know, pretty good, but needed more dinosaurs.
And as iOS becomes the world's largest platform for augmented reality, it will redefine what's possible. This is iPhone 10.
Speaking of the facial recognition, which makes it even easier to hack your phone now while you're sleeping, presumably, because last time they at least used to have to get hold of your thumb and hope you didn't wake up. Now they can just sort of, you know, put it in your face. Yeah, speaking of that, during the live event to announce this phone, this happened.
Here is iPhone 10. Now, unlocking it is as easy as looking at it and swiping up. And, you know, let's try that again. Ho, ho, ho. Let's go to backup here.
When you try your best but you don't succeed.
Now that's pretty embarrassing. It didn't actually fail in the way that it didn't recognise his face. For some reason the phone had been reset basically, and if you read what it said, it was saying you must enter your passcode to enable face recognition. Just in the same way the current phone does that with touch. If you turn your phone off completely, when it comes back up, touch won't work until you've typed the password in for the first time. So whether that was a glitch and it crashed and it reset itself, or whether the person just didn't turn it on and, you know, messed up when they were setting it up, we don't know. But technically the face recognition didn't fail there. But yeah, when we heard this leak about the new handsets, you know, confirmation we're getting iPhone 8, and then there was this, you know, 10th anniversary, to mark 10th anniversary of the iPhone X, X being the Roman numeral for 10 of course. Well, okay, we're getting an iPhone 8 and a 10th anniversary edition of the iPhone. But then when they started talking about it at the event, they kept calling it the iPhone 10. So they're not calling it the iPhone X, they're calling it the iPhone 10. So we're saying here's the 8, which by the way looks exactly the same as the 7. So basically there's no reason to get it. Well, apart from the fact, obviously it's got wireless charging, a bit better battery, whatever, but basically it's essentially the same. So they're going, here's the iPhone 8 and here's the iPhone 10. Where's the 9? Where's the iPhone 9? What's happened to that? It's like when Windows jumped from 8 to 10. You know, what is it about 9 that, you know, Microsoft don't like, Apple don't like? What's happened to 9? So when they do the new phone announcement, what is it going to be? Is it going to be the iPhone 11? Doesn't make any sense. I don't know. It's really weird. But yes, like they were saying, they're going to be heavy into the augmented reality, which will change the way we do certain things. We know that Pokemon Go was a big hit. The trend has gone down now, obviously, for Pokemon Go, but that kind of thing looks like they're going to, you know, try and do that quite a lot. So that'd be quite fun. I suppose, you know, like I say, dinosaurs running around. It's obviously much faster as well, because it's all upgraded now. But you still get, now, after 2 years of having a phone, it starts lagging. So I do think they put a timer in there to make it just start acting rubbish, personally. It's got better battery as well, which is good, and it's got wireless charging, which works with all the new devices, such as the, you know, AirPods, Apple Watch 3, iPhone 8 or 10 on one pad. Like I say, the pad looks a bit rubbish, but I think I did hear them saying they're going to make it much easier to work with third-party ones as well, so they're not going to try and lock everything down. They're wanting people to come up with good designs for wireless charging, where you don't have to have the watch completely out, strapped like that, because it looks a bit stupid. Some nice stand or something would be cool. And yeah, Do I want it? Well, I mean, kind of. Admittedly, I do kind of want it. Maybe not for £1,000 though. I mean, if my phone was just coming out of the contract now, or by November, then I probably would, because why not, upgrade your phone. It's not, and I don't really see as any point in me trying to buy out the current contract to spend £1,000 for a phone without a SIM, or without a contract SIM, or to pay whatever it would be to have a contract, probably £70 a month or something ridiculous. I just don't see why you would. It's just, if you can afford it, if you need to upgrade those options, then fine. Otherwise, I just don't really see the point very much at the moment. Maybe I'll change my mind when my phone does run out, but that'll be like September. I don't think I'm going to buy out early. So, this time next year, will there be an iPhone 11 to get? Maybe I'll get that. I don't know. Who knows what they're going to do next? But, if anyone watching wants to give me one, feel free. And yes, the other thing I wanted to talk about was the Apple Watch 3. Now, I have actually ordered this. It went on order today, coming out Friday 22nd, for a little treat for myself. I haven't gone with the cellular one. Basically, it's got, you can now have it with like a SIM, so you don't have to have your phone anywhere near you to be able to take calls and stuff. I don't see the point of that because I would just never really use that. I don't think I'd ever make calls with it anyway, even if I did have my phone next to me, let alone if I was going for a run or something, because I'm not going to want to be disturbed when I'm going for a run if I'm leaving my phone. I'm going for a run. I was already wanting to get a fitness tracker of some kind. I was looking at the Fitbit Ionic, and I kind of said to myself, if the Apple Watch isn't much more money, which it isn't, and it looks nice and all that kind of stuff, I think I'll go with that. And it does look nice. It does look better than the Fitbit Ionic, but of course it's not just about looks. And arguably, people who are into fitness trackers, for the GPS, they do Ironman challenges. They're training for that. They like to go hiking, mountain climbing, that kind of stuff. They'll be like, Apple Watch, what? Get a Garmin or whatever else they use these days. And that's fine, but obviously the Apple Watch, the smartwatch, does a few different things, but the tracking it does have is good. You can't say it isn't, because it is. It's going to look at my heart rate, all that kind of stuff, measure all that kind of thing. The only thing it's not great on is battery, because I think the Fitbit can last for sort of, a good few days, almost a week, without being charged, whereas the watch probably needs charging like every day or something ridiculous. So that's a bit of a shame, but I don't really need to track my sleep because I know when I'm sleeping because I'm not awake. So I don't mind about that too much. It would be nice on a little stand, next to your bed, clock on it or something like that. It would look quite cool. When I get it, of course, I'll probably unbox it and I'll see what it's like. One of the things I'm looking forward to it is me looking to see how many steps I've done and being like, oh, actually I want to do a few more steps, because I think it will get me a bit more active. I, of course, go to the gym and stuff like that, but I think it will just make me do a bit more walking, because I sit at a desk all day at work. I sit at a desk most evenings when I'm home. So it would be good to be a little challenge to myself to go for a walk or a run to get my steps up. And what I do like about it is the fact that it's waterproof. The Fitbit Ionic as well is, but like I say, wasn't much more to get the Apple Watch, and it does look a lot better. So it's waterproof, so I can go and do my laps in the pool with it, track that kind of stuff, see how quick I'm doing, and that's pretty cool. And maybe use it for some music or whatever. And it just, like I say, it does enough tracking for me, because I'm not, at the moment at least, competing to try and do sort of triathlons. I'm not going mountain hikes every weekend and things like that, so I'm not too fussed about that. I just want it to look pretty good, do what I need it to do, and not be too expensive. And it's still a fair whack. It's like £350 I paid for the normal mode, not, like I say, not the cellular, just the GPS mode. But it's affordable, and it's only £30 to £50 more than the Fitbit Ionic, and seems to do basically everything that does, and maybe a little bit more, because it's more of a smartwatch, and it's already an established smartwatch compared to the Fitbit's version. It could be that I wear it and after a week I'm like, not really getting much out of this. and I get rid of it. But I doubt it. I do think it's going to be quite useful. So all in all, has the Apple event been a success? Well, there'll always be people that buy Apple products, iPhones. I've got an iPhone. If I could afford it, I'd have both an Android phone and an iPhone. I've been tempted to change to an Android phone a couple of times, but it's like the technology you sort of stick with. But there's no excuse because I'm pretty clued up with gadgets and stuff like that. I could learn another phone really easily and probably use more of it because they're more hackable than iPhones, of course. But at the moment, I'm happy with an iPhone. Lots of people are going to buy this new phone, even though it's £1,000. I don't think the i8 is successful. Although it's got wireless charging, it'll be quicker, better battery. Like, it just looks exactly the same as the 7. I can't see it being that different that you'd need to go out and rush and buy that. If you're going to change from the 7, you'd probably go to the 10 because that's the proper change. But $1,000 or £1,000 is a lot. But then you think about it, how often do you use your phone? Every single day. How often, how long does a phone pretty much last? A couple years. So if well, let's work it out. So it's basically costing you just over £40 a month to have your phone if you pay the £1,000 outright. Of course, it'd be like another 20 quid or whatever for your SIM, but in essence, for a couple of years for a phone, spending 40 quid, and they do hold quite good value. So if you wanted to sell it at the end of that, you could probably sell it for 500, 600. So you think about it in that way, it's not too bad. You spend more on other things. So, I'm sure they can justify it some way, but it is still a fair whack of cash, isn't it? Then again, how much do laptops cost? It is basically a mini computer, so I don't know if it was a massive success, but I am going to get the Apple Watch 3, and I would get the iPhone X10 if I could afford it, if I could justify it, if I was coming to the end of my contract, and I'm sure lots of people will, but there are things about it which are just a bit silly, and the face recognition, the edge to edge isn't that great in my opinion. It's got a big black board around it, but it's got dinosaurs. So guys, that about do it. Click like if you like that, make sure you're subscribed for more videos like this, and I'll see you in the next video, and until then, can you all please sort of look up online to try and find out the conspiracy about not using 9 as like a version, because I think there's something sinister going on. Okay, bye. Guys, if you're still here, you're awesome! But as you are still here, why not check out some of my other videos? Oh, and if you haven't already, please click subscribe. Laters, haters.